Hey, it's Will here. Thank you for joining me on this video. This is probably going to be a little bit different from the videos that I normally make. This one's quite personal. I'm talking about my unhappiness at the moment. So, without going into too much detail and it's becoming a therapy session, there's a few factors. I'm getting over COVID, still struggling with some physical and mental side effects of that. I'm not going to see my family at Christmas. My family back in the UK doesn't look like they're going to get over here. Doesn't look like I can get back over there, which is frustrating, as you can imagine. And there's a few other things I'm just struggling with balancing my responsibilities, being a good dad, being a good husband, a good coach, a good employee, and just finding it quite overwhelming, to be honest. So, despite the fact that I'm not happy right now, despite the fact that I would say, unhappy, or I feel unhappy, there's three things that I'm focusing on, which honestly are helping. And they all begin with M, funnily enough. And I'm going to talk about those three M's today. And I share partly because for me, I know it's good for me to be real, for me to talk, to me to get this out of my head and out into words. So I like to write, so I think I'm going to write about this as well. So it's partly for me, but it's partly because I know that I'm not alone. I know that other people are struggling. Other people simply are just not feeling happy right now. So what can help? So the first M is mindfulness. There's an idea that we are two selves. There's our persona. Our persona is who we think we are. It's our labels, it's our past, it's our titles, it's our feelings, it's our thoughts, it's our beliefs, it's all of those things. It's the person who we present when we meet somebody else. So if I was to meet you for the first time, I'd say, hey, my name's Will, blah, 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 blah. I'd list off all these labels. But we're more than our persona. As well as our persona, there is our experiencing self. So the first self, our persona, is our remembered self. Our second self is our experiencing self. And the self is a bit more deeper than our persona. So my experiencing self is a part of me who experiences the unhappiness, who notices the unhappiness. So what I'm finding helpful is each day taking time to be mindful. I do this through meditation. So I will just sit and just observe how I'm feeling, without judgment, without creating any stories, as much as possible about how I'm feeling, and just watching, just noticing, just being aware of the feelings that I am experiencing and just allowing them to be there. And I think mindfulness helps because it creates some space. I think we can get so caught up in our feelings and our struggles, get so caught up in our persona self that we forget that we're more than that, that we are awareness as well. And we can take time just to be, just to sit with those feelings, even if they're really uncomfortable, just to sit with them and observe them. So the first M, which has been helping me, is mindfulness. Taking time each day to meditate or just be more mindful as I go about my day, detaching from the story that I have that I'm an unhappy person. I had to correct myself earlier when I said I'm unhappy. I feel unhappy. I am are two very powerful words. We have to be very careful of the words that follow I am, because that becomes our story. So I had to correct myself earlier and say I feel unhappy. That's more accurate. I feel lots of things, but at the moment it tends to be more unhappiness than usual, let's say. So the second M is meaning. So you may know the work of Dr. Jordan Peterson. He basically dismisses the idea that the meaning of life is to be happy, because he says it's just not going to be possible. When you are depressed, when you lose someone close, when someone you love is seriously ill and dying, you're just not going to wake up and be happy. So he thinks it's quite foolish to strive for happiness as the goal. He says, find meaning. The thing that will get you through dark times and tough times is meaning. So it's asking that question, what matters? Why am I still getting out of bed? Even though I may be struggling, what is important? What matters? So for me, I'm asking myself this question, what matters? And for me, it's family. It's my wife and my son, who I live with here in Germany. My other family, obviously, back in the UK. And, they're my world. So I'm aware of that. I'm aware that they give my life meaning. So I'm creating as much time as possible to be with them. And I'm being present. So I'm sort of integrating the mindfulness within this part of my life, which is meaningful. And I'm, as much as possible, just putting down the story that I'm experiencing. I'm putting aside that unhappiness for that moment, not in a way, not as a means to neglect it, but just to strive for something deeper, So look for the meaning. So there's going to be things in your life, if you're watching this and you're struggling, there's going to be things in your life that matter, that give your life meaning. Know what they are. Focus on them. Okay? So there's meaning to be found in that. And there's also meaning to be found within our challenges, within our struggling. So another way that I'm reflecting is asking, how is this serving me? How is this period of unhappiness, this period of struggle, going to strengthen me? And, I think in terms of resilience, I think we overcome so much. And as difficult as it is in the moment, just look back at your track record, look what you've overcome, and know that it improves us. Hardship, we're built for a burden. We're built for hardship. We're built to overcome struggles and to improve from it. So that's the second M, which is meaning. The last one is moments of joy. It's so important to keep our eyes open, to look for these moments of joy, which do exist all around us. This can be in the smile of a baby. It could be watching snow fall from the sky. It can be watching your favourite comedy programme, and for a short second that humour sort of pierces through the unhappiness that you feel. We have to keep our eyes open. The world is a tough place. The world is a harsh place. The way that I conceptualise life is it's a beautiful tragedy. So it seems like a paradox, but it's certainly beautiful and it's certainly tragic. And I think that's just the nature of it. So we have to keep our eyes open. A couple of years ago, we had to say goodbye to my nana, and we were at her funeral. And I remember just feeling this, this profound emptiness, this feeling of grief. But during the funeral, there was actually moments. I wouldn't call it happiness. It was joy. It was deeper. It was just joy. It was just telling stories, remembering her. And just my nephew, who was very small at the time, just children being children. So keep your eyes open. If you're feeling grief, if you're feeling depression, if you're feeling something which is difficult, keep your eyes open for joy. You'll find it in other people. You'll find it in serving others. Something that I like to do is just lose myself in the service of others. So to, give, to, be generous. These are things that do help me. So keep your eyes open. They're the three things. So mindfulness, meaning, and the last M was moments of joy. Look for those. If you've watched this and found this helpful, thanks for watching. Bit of a longer video. But yeah, if you are feeling like I am, hang in there. Things will get better. Things do get better. This too shall pass, as the old story goes. And I'll see you soon. All the best. Bye.